Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at how you can really carry solo queue by yourself or at least have a massive impact. Now I've said this a few times, but the game has changed a lot in Season 6 and I honestly think it's going to make it a lot easier to climb solo queue, back to kind of how it used to be where it is way more about how you perform. Now yeah, I know, another new series, but I'm going to be running my other ones alongside this. Honestly, these videos are perfect for me to make and I think it'll be really useful for you guys as well. If you've ever watched me stream, you'll see that when it's a hard game and my team are raging, I just mute, focus, and try to carry them. Now this is exactly what this season is good for. This is exactly what I'm good at, and this is what I'm going to be teaching you guys. We're going to go through and explain this new season first, and like why solo carrying is so much better now, and then I'm going to give you 5 steps to win a game in Season 6. So let's just compare last season to this real quick. In Season 5, the lane phase didn't really matter too much, like games were very hard to close out and it often just came down to late game team fighting. Because the lane phase didn't really mean too much, it didn't matter if you were individually better than your opponent because even if you got ahead, they had time to recover and farm up for late game. Now let's look at the pre-season of Season 6 so far. Now games are so much quicker and way more of a snowball as well. If you aren't sure what I mean by snowball, by the way, it's basically where you have a lead and that lead keeps getting bigger and bigger. Now there are 2 big reasons for this, okay? So the first one is death timers. I'm going to quote Riot directly here as well, and after 10 minutes your death timers are higher on average and after 43 minutes they're less. Now this means that when you kill someone now you have way more time to get something else from it, and this is really a big reason why it snowballs more. Now not only do you get the kill and obviously the gold from it, but you're more likely to get more gold after from like towers, minions, or even pushing the lane and making the enemy fall behind even more. The other thing is towers. Now towers are basically a free source of gold right now. Not only are they weaker, but you have more time to whack at them because of the increased death timers. So what do I mean by solo carrying anyway? Everyone's definition is probably going to be different, but mine is basically where you can carry the game or have a huge impact by yourself and not really rely too much on others. Now you could do this in Season 5, don't get me wrong, but it was a lot harder to do and you were kind of forced more into team play. In Season 6, winning lane is really important. If you can get a lead early, then you can constantly punish your opponent, push, kill them, roam, kill others, get towers, and suddenly you have a huge lead. You'll find that you get quite a big level advantage over your opponent too, which makes it even harder for your opponent to recover. So that's just reason number 1. Winning lane means more, and winning your lane is something that you actually have a lot more control over and is about individual play. Number 2, once you get that lead, you can do a lot more with it. Roaming and taking towers are the 2 things that come to mind that your lead is most likely to help with, and both of these things just help that snowball even more. I honestly cry. I have a tear in my eye at the amount of times that enemy mid laner and jungle 4-man gank me bot lane and take 2 of my towers before I even get back to do anything. Finally, reason number 3, games are way shorter. It's easier to translate your early lead into a win if you can keep taking advantages and end before the enemy team catches up or before your teammates have a chance to throw the game. Last season it was pretty hard to actually end the game quickly, but now it's a lot easier, which makes your individual impact a ton higher. Now that really explains why solo carrying is so much better in the pre-season now, but now let's go into the 5-step method to win a game in a nutshell. Now I'm not going to be going into massive detail because this is what the other episodes will break down in depth, but it'll give you a good idea to go and play into your games. So step 1, win your lane. Very straightforward, right? Well, kind of a little bit harder to pull off, of course, but stick to early game champions, trade correctly, try to get some kills, but remember to farm well too. Step number 2, roaming. Winning your lane to me means you've killed your opponent a few times, you have a CS lead, and you have the tower. So no problem, easy game, easy life, right? Well, next up is going to be taking that stick you've rammed up your lane opponent's ass and putting it in the opponent's in another lane. So you push your lane, you run to another lane, you try to get a kill, or you just push the tower. You also get bonus points here for warding a bit deeper in their jungle, so you can see them moving around as well. Step number 3, taking towers. You have your lead and now it's time to make it bigger. You want to aim for the first tower in your lane and the first tower in the lane next to you. Now that means if you're bot lane, you want your tower plus the mid lane tower down. The best way of doing this is going to be to group and push unexpectedly, or to even 4-man a lane with your jungler. With how weak towers are right now, you can actually probably even get 2 towers before the enemy reacts properly. Step 4, the Rift Herald. Next up on the chopping block is the big purple one-eyed Personified Monster. Now this guy is basically like a mini Baron, and it will make pushing and taking towers even easier. At this point you should probably have the 3 outer towers down, and the buff you get from this guy will make taking the inner turrets a lot easier. Step number 5, after you've done all that, you just need to group. Now is time for you really to ram that lead home, and that lead that you had in the lane phase will have grown and grown with all these towers you've taken, and now you just need to group, kill them, and take their base. It's really not that uncommon actually to get an inhib now before 20 minutes, and once that happens you've basically sealed the deal and almost won the game. Now I hope you guys enjoyed the video and are looking forward to spanking some ass in Season 6 with me. Remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I'm going to catch you in the next video.